up, y'all? Hope you guys are doing all right. It is the week of Christmas 2020. I hope it's feeling like Christmas for you guys. We've got our tree up. It's tough to sometimes deal with the fact that it feels like 2020 is trying to serve up nothing but humbugs, but we're all hanging in there. We're all doing what we got to do to get through right now. And I'm looking at this new year with some big expectations coming up. I might have mentioned this before, but I'm resolving that 2021 is the year I booked my first speaking role on television. Really excited about the potential that 2021 has, especially when it comes to life getting back to normal, because man, do I miss normal. Anyhow, last week, the episode was unfortunately unceremoniously cut off. I keep checking my monitor here because I always want to make sure that I'm actually up and running. You guys might have noticed that, if you watched the video from last week, it died mid-sentence at about 11 minutes in. Well, I kept talking for about an hour and a half and didn't realize until afterwards that the broadcast had stopped about 10 minutes in. So y'all missed some fun stuff, let me tell you, because I did my casting submissions and then I just, checked my email real quick, and live on stream, or what I thought was live on stream, while I was streaming to nothing, I got an audition. And that was awesome. It was actually for an audition that I had submitted on during the stream. So that was a really fast turnaround on that too. That felt really, really cool. I don't want to be talking for 90 minutes by myself today. I had a lot of fun doing that, but I think it might have been a little ranty. I don't know. I can't tell because I don't have any evidence that it ever happened. So who knows? But I've put myself on a timer today. I want to do this about 20, 25 minutes and then call it a day. But I just want to chat real quick about the concept of what kind of actor am I? What kind of actor are you? Why is it important to categorize yourself? And while I do that, I'm going to do my submissions and see if there's any breaking news. So we're going to chat about a couple of things. Oh, I still have my background up from my other stream last night. So my little Hobgoblin Warrior in the background. Love it. Good times. Anyhow, so today, Actors Access. Yeah, and the other thing, I got a total of 3 auditions last week from my submissions on Tuesday while I was streaming. So I don't care if nobody watches this. I'm doing this now because it's an audition magnet. So yeah, that works. I mean, 3 auditions in 1 week is pretty solid, especially when you've had like maybe one a month for the last couple months. Nothing new on Actors Access. Yeah, this is not shocking. It's Christmas in 2 days, for crying out loud. So people are not going to be posting breakdowns right now. But I still go through the routine, check for messages, check for other stuff. It's always important to do that. Let's see. Backstage. Did your entire website take a break? I mean, what's going on here? Here we are. Load up. All right, so let's do gig search here real quick. Oh, I'm still broadcasting over Wi-Fi. I forgot to connect the hard line again. Ugh. All right, well, it's not like I'm trying to stream a dozen people at once. So my hair is just all over the place today. Photographer looking to collaborate. You know what to do. A student thesis film, psychological drama. I really don't. What is this? All right. Okay, well, anyhow, while this is all loading up, because everything is choosing to be molasses in January right now, let's talk about my topic, the topic I want to talk about today. And that is, what kind of actor am I? What kind of actor or you, and why that's an important question. Okay. So one of the big differences I like to talk about between theater and TV and film is that in theater, you can be everything to everybody. In theater, I've played all kinds of crazy stuff. I've played animated objects. I've played opposite gender. I've played all kinds of things that are not me, you know? And people buy into that with theater because theater is a more abstract medium. You know, you can be like, I'm a hot dog now. And as long as you establish what that means within the context of the show, people will generally go along for the ride. TV and film is incredibly literal. So you can't be everything to everybody in TV and film. What I am in TV and film is I'm tall, I'm male, I'm white, I'm, you know, I am what I bring to the table. And the roles that they're going to go, that I get submitted on and I get sent out for, are roles that you would believe a person like me would play. And it's good, and you get pigeonholed, and it's good to be pigeonholed. It's good to be that guy because that means there's constant work. You know, you hear early on that you don't want to get pigeonholed, you don't want to get typed. You absolutely do. In the beginning, you absolutely do. You want to be that name brand tall white guy. You want to be that name brand dude rocking the goatee. You know, you want to be that name brand what you are. And the highest compliment that you can get once you get to be that type is, I'm looking for a young you. I'm looking for a black you. I'm looking for a, you know, like the female you, you know, that when your name becomes synonymous with the type, that's awesome. Because here's the thing. When you become typed and you become that go-to, that means you're going to be working. It means you're going to be working, at least auditioning, if not booking. So it's good to be typed. It's good to know your type, and it's good to be aware of what it is that you bring to the table and why people, why people would want to cast you. What do you provide to them? Yeah, because TV and film, incredibly literal. Incredibly literal. It's gotten to the point these days where instead of casting people to play cops and EMTs, they typically just cast real cops and EMTs who also happen to have a headshot and a union card because Hollywood. But that's not the only. Oh, and that's where breakout roles come from, by the way. You're breaking out of your type and showing that you have range. Almost every actor that's worth their union card has range. Like a lot. They can do comedy, they can do drama, because the thing is that as we are coming up as performers and artists, we are taught all kinds of different things. And then you get pigeonholed into this very narrow box where your parameters are very much like yourself in real life, where the roles that you play are basically just you wearing different clothes, saying words that somebody else wrote. And at one point, you might get lucky enough to have a breakout role opportunity where you get to redefine your type or even show that you are beyond type and you become, and hopefully at that point, you are such a known commodity that people will continue to think of you even though you are no longer of that type, or embrace the idea that you play other types. But that's not the only meaning of that question, right? I mean, obviously, that's a very important thing that every actor needs to know and think about and consider when they are developing their career. It's like, who are they? What are they? What do they offer? And be secure in that and recognize that who they are on the surface is going to be their calling card, and it's going to be what gets them in the door. So when you so when you have that type and everything, that's your foot in the door. That's the way for you to get in work. But the question, what kind of actor am I, also has some other philosophical, or actually much more practical. There's a lot of deep philosophical stuff to consider here, because that's existential. It's like, what am I? Who am I? That gets deep into the root of a person. But when it comes to what kind of actor am I, that goes beyond type. That could also go from a much more practical perspective of, do I focus on theater? Do I focus on TV? Do I focus on film? Do I focus on voiceover? Do I do commercials? Do I do what? in the beginning, actors will say, yes, I can do all of that, and I want to do all of that. And maybe some folks are lucky enough that they get grabbed by representation that starts putting them out there for everything. But for those of us that have had to grind a lot longer and have had to think our way through a lot longer, we have to narrow that focus, because we don't have, thankfully I do now have a team that's working for me. I have an agent and a manager that are both out submitting me and pitching me on projects and stuff like that. That's great. I'm incredibly grateful for them. Shout out to Sheila and Martin. Love you guys. Happy holidays. Your Christmas cards or your holiday cards are in the mail. And always send your reps a little something, especially at the holidays. I try to email my reps at least once a month, if not once a week, just to check in with them and see what they're working on, see what I'm working on. And it always helps to remind your agents that you exist, because if you don't, you wind up getting cut at one point. But I always like being at the forefront of the mind. That's a whole separate conversation. I'm getting off track right now, but I think maybe that'll be the next one, is why I email my reps once a week, or at least once a week, and buy my manager coffee once a month, because I think that, you got to think about that as a business relationship. Then again, I've got 14 minutes left on this, and I said I wanted to not go over 25, because last time I went 90. So, got to stick with my plan here. What kind of actor am I? I personally am trying to be a TV actor. That means I'm trying to break into 1-hour TV dramas, because you can even make it more granular. When you're talking TV, are you doing 1-hour dramas? Are you doing half-hour sitcoms? Are you doing TV commercials? What are you pursuing? And why is it important? If an actor can be anything to anybody, hypothetically, why is it so important to focus so much on granularity? Because, honestly, theater, TV, and film, as much as they are the entertainment industry, they are their own unique subsets with their own unique requirements. And you need to adjust your life, your lifestyle, and your career planning accordingly. That is a major step that you have to take, and that's a major consideration. It's also, where do you want to put your time and energy in building relationships and getting to know people and doing your research? You can't research every project. You can't be at the indie film festivals trying to meet directors so that they could put you in the next Clerks or whatever, the next big indie darling. If you're also trying to do your hustle with the casting directors for all the TV shows, do their casting workshops and following them on Twitter, while also being in rehearsal and having your nights and weekends taken up by doing that show that you're doing, that non-equity or that equity theater project that you're doing. There's so many different things that we can do, but you can't do them all. So basically asking yourself, what kind of actor am I, helps you narrow that focus. I picked TV, 1-hour dramas. So when I look at my projects here, I look at stuff that can help me with that. Sure, I look at short films and things and projects of that nature. When I'm considering roles, down to earth attitude, simple and rational man, not the life of pride per se, although a crack a joke kind of guy. You can. Yeah, you know what? What the heck? Why not? What I was saying, when I'm submitting on these projects, I'm looking for stuff that could be good to help me build my TV, build a reel, and get fresh clips for the reel, because you always got to be updating that. I am logged in. Why you be so frustrating? So, yeah, that is the question, what kind of actor am I? And I think every actor needs to ask themselves that, especially when they're starting out, because it really defines what direction they want to go in, what they have to do. When you say, okay, I want to break into TV, the next question is, what TV shows do you want to work on? So you make a list. Okay, who casts those shows? You make a list of that. Who's the producers? You make a list of that. Who's the directors and the writers? Make a list of all those. Follow them all on Twitter. Reach out on LinkedIn, maybe, if you really feel bold. But start interacting with these folks on Instagram. For the casting directors, do their casting workshops. But the important thing is that in defining what kind of actor you are, it helps you figure out what you need to do to grow. you know. And I've worked on enough TV sets to know that, you know, that I like it. I like the culture. I like the opportunities. I like the kind of rough and tumble storytelling. There's a lot about it that reminds me of, I'm logged in. Why are you telling me that I need to log in? I'm logged in. Why are you telling me I can't log in? Yes, I already have an account. Yes, please recognize. Technology. I hate technology sometimes. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. Narrow your focus. Narrow your focus because it makes everything attainable. Because I think one of the main problems that I know that I suffered from early on, and I still struggle with from time to time, is feeling overwhelmed. Where do I start? What do I do? How do I get from A to B? What do I have to do to build this career out and get to get progress, to get auditions, to book the job? You know, I mean, there's tons of acting teachers out there who will teach you audition theory and everything else that you need to do. And there's casting director workshops and things, pre-screening. Requires actors to live together. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Okay. Need more coffee. All right, so I'm gonna pass on that one. Yeah, that. Everything's just running so damn slow today. Ugh, God. This is the tough part about streaming on this computer. If anybody has a lead on one of those really, really nice GeForce RTX 3080s, so I can finish my streaming PC, oof, I would really appreciate you. Just throwing that out there in the ether. I could use a lead on one because, you know, one that's not marked up at 2 to 3 times the normal price, because I don't want to support scalpers. They did the whole community dirty, man, let me tell you. So pull the windows here. Okay. So I see I got one person following along. How you doing? Didn't have my chat up, so sorry about that. Who do we have here? Got somebody following on Twitch. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for checking us out today. Checking me out today. Us. I was streaming last night with a group, so hence the pronouns. Are you someone who's involved in the entertainment industry? Please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And then regarding everything else here, yeah, this is all stuff I've seen. Some of the stuff I've submitted on before. We're good. Yeah, I'm not expecting there to be. God, I need more coffee. Much right now. There's not much right now. Simply because it's the holidays coming up. Oh, I got 2 folks watching. Hey there. Oh, everything just locked up. Amazing. Okay. Oh, no, there we go. Back. Yes. So I was waxing poetic on what kind of actor I am and what that meant in both the philosophical and the practical sense. Philosophically, it's, you know, what I can offer. Practically, it's what can I offer the particular industry in which, you know, realistically, and understanding what it is that they need versus what it is that I can offer. And then also what I want to pursue in terms of which hustles within the industry, because there are just so many different opportunities. Okay, here we go. All talents must be higher and higher. Undercover agent, non-speaking role. Jack in the Box. Where, man? Oh, if only I wasn't staying so pretty. I would love to do Jack in the Box commercial, but you know. plus size goth, underrepresented project hot pants, drug cartel boss. Yeah, okay. So nothing on casting networks today. Like I said, to be expected. That's okay. When you're right before Christmas, this is what we're dealing with. So whoever's following me here, do you have any questions I can answer? I mean, you know, I don't know if I'll be able to give you a good answer, but I can give you an honest answer. At least my truth. Be happy to do that. I got about 5 minutes left here, so, you know. Yeah, and how did I figure out what kind of actor I was? Well, you know, honestly, it was taking a long, hard look at things. And this got all the way back from when I was in college. Because obviously I went to, well, not obviously to y'all, but I went to school at Emerson College in Boston. And at the time, it did not have much of a film scene. And it was really from a practical perspective of what city did I want to move to? Like, what industry did I want to pursue? What city did I want to move to? You know, LA, TV and film. Toronto was a possibility. I remember looking at that. You know, there wasn't much of a TV scene there, but they had a theater scene. Same thing with New York and Chicago, theater and improv. And New York had TV as well, and film, a little bit more limited, but yeah. I did a semester in Los Angeles and interned at an agency and was like, yeah, you know what? I like it here. I like the weather. I like the people. And I want to do TV. So it checks all the boxes, and that's why I wound up here. But I did have to, and at that time I didn't realize just how much of like a monumental decision that was. But because I didn't make my focus much more granular as it needed to be. I was just like, I'm going to come out here, I'm going to storm TV and movies and make it happen. And then I wound up joining a theater company and starting a theater company and then buying a theater. And 10 years later, I was like, whoa, what the hell? What happened to my TV and film career? Well, the economy also happened to my TV and film career too. And that knocked me out of the game for a little bit, but I don't want to complain about that. And there's nothing on Casting Frontier. So, you know, but when I looked at my options, when I looked at my choices, when I looked at what was available to me, yeah, I came out to a place where I knew that the industry was and what part of the industry I wanted to work in. Because like I said, different cities have different emphasis and different levels of things. And, you know, of course, Atlanta now has a TV scene that's pretty robust. Louisiana, New England, you know, like the other states offering tax credits and stuff like that have lured production away from Los Angeles because Los Angeles is expensive for everybody. And yeah, I've thought about going to other cities. I've thought about moving to Atlanta. I've thought about moving to these other cities to check out the opportunities that they present. And I'm happy here because even with the number of opportunities out in other places, this is where I want to work. And we've built a good life here. So I'd really have to think hard about if I wanted to move to another city. And probably take a little bit of convincing. But yes, once again, what kind of actor am I? I can be everything to everyone because, you know, that's what we teach ourselves and that's what we're taught as actors and that's what we work on our craft. We can play these weird creatures. We could play opposites of all of our known types and everything. It's important to develop those skills, and it's important that every artist have that wide brush that they can paint with. But from a practical perspective, from an industry perspective, when it comes down to it, you need to be able to narrow that focus. You need to be able to know who you are, what your brand is, or what it is that you offer from starting from a surface level and going within. Going deep down, you know, within yourself, but starting from the surface because, like I said, TV and film, very very surface oriented. And yeah, they will cast you. They will make a judgment based on your look immediately and know exactly where they want to slot you. And yeah, you get pigeonholed. But that's not a bad thing, because that means that if you're the go-to in that pigeonhole, that means you're working, and that's good. You want to be working, and then eventually you could build up for a breakout. But then also, just from a looking for work perspective, what kind of actor are you? Yeah, I'm a TV actor. That's what I want to be. That's what I'm aspiring to be, as a TV actor. So, I still do theater. I love theater. I want my reps to submit me on theater. I still do film. I love film. I want my reps to submit me on film, and they will. But when it comes to doing my research and doing my focus and focusing on my hustle, all that work is going to be towards building up a television career. All right. Well, we'll take 2 seconds here and just take a look at the latest IMDb news on all the stuff that I'm tracking. Oh, IndieWire, you gotta lighten up. Being mean about The Mandalorian. Who saw The Mandalorian finale last week? Anybody? Anybody here? I loved it. I was blown away. I'm an old school Star Wars fanboy, so watching that, I was just like, wow. I mean, I enjoyed Last Jedi too, but, and I know that there's differences in how the characters were played. That's great, because when you look at the timeline of the evolution of the character, I thought it slotted in perfectly. Anyway, that's me geeking out here, but I think it's also important to be geeking out about the stuff that you love. Yeah, so just to explain this real fast, on IMDb Pro, I track all the shows that I want to be on. You can actually track projects. Grey's Anatomy and all the Shondaland stuff. These, the casting directors always like to talk about how they love to give people their first roles. So, seeing as I'm seeking my first role right now, this is where I want to land, hopefully, and break in. I would love to land something on one of these shows. Grey's, Station 19, anything in Shondaland, just to get started. If they love giving people their first roles, their first break, then yeah, I would love to make that happen on this. But I mean, I really want to do the Marvel, the Star Wars, and the Star Trek stuff. I mean, that's really the kind of stuff that I want to be in. Oh yeah, hey Adam, good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much for jumping in. And yeah, absolutely no spoilers. # no spoilers. I'm just disappointed that IndieWire gave the review such a pan right off the top, like you're right in their headline. It's like, dude, that was a great episode. I enjoyed it. So thank you so much for jumping in. Yeah. But I have my list of shows, and it's so funny because it's like Shondaland and basically Shondaland, Star Trek, and then everything else is owned by Disney now. And it makes certain things a lot easier and certain things a lot harder when you look at the dynamic, because that lack of diversity means that there's not as many people I have to track. But I also picked some of the biggest shows that happen to reside in the most ivory of ivory towers. So trying to break in there, it's going to take some time and effort, making connections and doing what you got to do. But yeah, Grey's still going strong. Would love to wind up on that or any of the other shows in the Shondaland universe, because like I said, casting has literally said that they love to be they love to give actors their first TV roles. So I'm here for it. Let's do it. Hook me up. I don't care if I get killed off in some hilariously disgusting fashion like I've seen way too many times on that show. Yeah. All right. Well, anyhow, I've run my timer out. Adam, thank you so much for jumping in the chat and saying, hey, brother, good seeing you. Hope you're doing well. I've seen your pictures online, and you're looking good. Miss you. Looking forward to being able to do theater with you again. And yeah, I will be back this time next week. I will figure out something to talk about. But I hope this, I hope this, I don't want to say rambling, because I got to give myself a little bit more respect than that. But I hope this pontificating, hypothesizing, whatever we want to call it, I hope this has helped y'all think about some stuff and put some things into perspective, because some of these are things that I had to reflect on for a long time before I figured them out. And honestly, some of these things hadn't even occurred to me until it was all brought up to me at a SAG Foundation workshop. Yes. Oh, by the way, shout out to the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. Big shout out to the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. If you are a member of the unions, you have a union card, check out the workshops, the career and business of acting workshops that they have at the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. They're outstanding. I miss Dennis Baker. He used to be the guy in charge of all that. He decided to have a much shorter commute instead of coming up to Mid-Wilshire every day. He now is going to be he's now a high school teacher. But he's working as a high school teacher now in San Pedro, closer to where he lives. He went from an hour-and-a-half commute to a 10-minute commute. Don't blame me one bit for that, sir. But yeah, Dennis, you really put a lot of career stuff in perspective for me and helped me regain my focus and help me figure out what it is I need to do to move my career forward, even in times of craziness and pandemic. So, yeah, I'll be back next week. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope you're having a good one. And I'll be back next week to talk about my end of year wrap up and how I'm going to achieve in 2021. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait for a fresh start, man. All right. I'll see you next week.